Alright guys, so in this video, you're going to watch me literally build an entire Upwork account from scratch, build it up, apply for jobs, get my first client, and I'm going to do it all in front of you. This is going to be the most in-depth, comprehensive course I've ever made because I want to actually help other freelancers that were in the same position that I was 16 months ago. When I started on Upwork, which was around 18 months ago, I spent the first 2 months bidding for jobs, wasting money on connects, and making no income. And I was losing money essentially because I was spending money on connects. And so after about 2 months of doing this, I came up with certain tactics that started to work when I started to bid on jobs. And I realized that Upwork is all about standing out amongst every other freelancer that is bidding for the same job as you. So this course hopefully will serve to help you. It's going to be completely free. It's going to be as in-depth as I can make it. There's no catch. There's no affiliate marketing here. This is literally just to help all you freelancers at home that want to make more money and get more clients through the platform. So who is this for? This is for people who are freelancing on Upwork and not getting the amount of clients they want. And it's also for people who have never used Upwork and they're complete beginners. So this is going to show you exactly how Upwork works, how to navigate across it. But not only that, I'm going to show you how to bid for jobs correctly so you stand out amongst other freelancers, because that really is the essence of Upwork. You just need to stand out amongst all the other freelancers in your niche in order for you to generate $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 through Upwork. And believe me, there are people on Upwork who have made millions. So it's a very viable way to make a legitimate stream of income. There's certain tactics that I have used in the past 16 months on Upwork that has allowed me to generate over $100,000 through my entire time freelancing through the platform. And at this point, I don't even just freelance. I'm technically an agency because the work that I acquire through Upwork, I then use to then get my guys in my agency to do the work. So I'm kind of operating as a middleman at this point, and that's just because I started to get too many clients that I couldn't handle myself. So I wouldn't suggest starting as an agency. I'd suggest starting as a freelancer. Learn the ins and outs, learn how to fulfill work for a client before you start outsourcing it to somebody else as part of your agency. Let's jump into it. Let me tell you a bit about my story. So I've been freelancing for 18 months on Upwork. When I started, I wasn't making much money for the first 2 months. It was around 8 to 10 weeks. I was just burning money on connects. I was applying to 10 jobs a day. And if you don't know what connects are basically what you use to bid on jobs on the platform of Upwork, right? So you have to pay to apply to jobs. And I was basically spending a lot of money on connects in the first 2 months, not making any money. And then I started to incorporate certain tactics, and I'm gonna go through those tactics in this video. That completely changed the game for me. After I made that shift and adjustment, in the first 6 months, I made $60,000, which was insane. And my work schedule was hectic because I was having to fulfill all the work for these clients. But then I started to outsource it and work with other people to do the work on my behalf, which allowed me to free up my time. And I'm gonna show you all of this, right? I'm gonna show you every single step in this program of exactly how to do it. I'm just going to show you the blueprint of what I did, and hopefully that's going to help you with your current situation. And bear in mind, if you're one of those people that think that Upwork is kind of like Fiverr, you're not going to get low-level clients through Upwork. You can get some seriously high-ticket paying clients. You can get clients that pay you £2,000, £2,500 through Upwork a month on retainer. I am personally telling you that I have done that, and so that's definitely something you can do. If you think of Upwork as one of those platforms that you'll only get $50, $60 per project, that's not the case, okay? It's not like Fiverr. You can get some seriously high-ticket clients. I've worked with so many clients, like high-ticket, well-renowned brands like Elacera, and you guys can check this out. Elacera is a supplement pill company based in London. They sell pills for women on menopause, but they're a very large brand. I've worked with the Flight Center, which is in the travel niche. They are massive. I've worked with Mercury Holidays. I've worked with a company called Get Refizz. These are all really well-established brands in the e-commerce space that I've been able and had the luxury of working with and generated money whilst doing so. So looking back at it, you know, in reflection, while I started to craft and plan out this course, I realized it wasn't easy. So if you're looking for a get-rich-quick scheme, but you're not willing to put in some work, then this is not for you. You have to put in some work, and I promise you it's going to be the most fulfilling thing that you've ever done. It's going to be such a fulfilling journey to be able to work with clients that you enjoy working with and making money in the meantime whilst building up your portfolio. That's what Upwork can do for you. So why does Upwork make the most sense? Let's start off with that. Upwork makes the most sense because unlike any other method of outreach, it's warm leads that you're reaching out to. People on Upwork are literally saying that I want your service. So if you're the kind of person that is good at video editing, or video production or SEO or Google ads or even voiceovers. It can be pretty much anything. There are people on Upwork that are saying that they want your services. They are looking for somebody with your skill set, and you're basically just reaching out to them and saying, hey, I am that person you're looking for. So they're warm leads. You're not just reaching out to cold prospects, right? Everybody now does cold DMs, cold emails, cold calling to try and acquire clients for their freelancing or agency business. And I don't think it's the most viable way to do it, simply because those people aren't even necessarily in the market of looking for your services, but people on Upwork are. They are literally looking for your services. So it makes so much more sense to start out your freelancing or agency career on Upwork. And really the success is just going to come down to how you stand out amongst other applicants in your niche. And I'm going to show you some very, very specific tactics in order to do that through this program. So let's jump into it, because I don't want to take up too much of your time, right? There's a lot for us to get through, and I want to power through it so that you can get the most condensed program I could possibly make. The first thing we want to talk about is picking a niche, right? And this is something that I can't really answer for you. This is something you have to reflect on yourself and think, okay, so what skills do I have? I can video edit, or I'm good at voiceovers, or I'm pretty good at Google SEO, digital marketing, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, or maybe you're good at organic social media. You know, you can work with brands and help them post on Instagram, post on Facebook, post on TikTok. The possibilities are absolutely endless. Don't just think that you're limited to the few that I've named. There are thousands of different spaces you could get into on Upwork. Data entry, SQL, coding, web development, website designing. There's just so many. And so this is something that I can't answer for you. And anybody that says they can on YouTube, it's just wasting your time, because you have to really reflect on your own skills and think, what would you enjoy doing and what can you do very well? Try that. And remember, you can always change niche. If you realize when you work with a few clients that I don't really enjoy this isn't really something for me, you can always change, right? But at this point, I don't want you to be stagnant in this analysis paralysis phase of not knowing what to pick, right? Just pick something that you know that you can do at a reasonable level at this point. You will get better at it, right? The other thing is, if you're doubting yourself, like maybe I'm not good at this, I promise you, when I started freelancing and I offer Facebook and Instagram advertising management services, I wasn't as good at it as I am now. I'm exceptional now because I've worked with so many different brands. And so you will build that skill set over time as well. So don't worry too much about, am I good enough? You will get better through repetitions and practice and clients. So that's the picking your niche with powering through this, right? The next step is profile creation optimization. This is where it gets quite exciting. So what we need to do now is make an Upwork account, right? So for the sake of this program, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to use my Upwork account because it's already got some traction. It's already got some validation, some reviews. I'm going to create it completely from scratch, a new Upwork account under my friend's name, right? Who's created it on my behalf. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to get your first client from scratch with a brand new profile, right? So I'm basically in the same position as you, building it up and getting my first client. Okay, so obviously the next step now is to create our Upwork account. So head over to upwork.com, click the sign up button right here, and then you can see it's going to ask us, do you want to create a client account or a freelancer account? Of course, in this case, we're selecting the freelancer account, apply as a freelancer. Now it's going to ask you for a few details, so just go ahead and fill this out. Right, so just fill in your details. I'm going to use this as a dummy account for now, so I've just filled in some random details and an old email, and then I'm just going to create my account. And this should then give us a confirmation to say that your account is now confirmed, and then it's going to ask you to verify your email address, which we're going to go ahead and do right now. Right, so I just clicked the link in my email and it's taken me to this page right here. So we're going to click get started, and it's going to ask us a few questions. So what we're going to say is I am an expert, and then click next. Then it's going to ask us what's your biggest goal, and for this one I'm just going to put to earn my main income. You can put to make money on the side. It doesn't really make a huge difference at this point. How would you like to work? I'd like to find opportunities myself. Next. And then it's going to ask us to create a profile. So unless you have a LinkedIn, which is already kind of very well optimized and well structured, for this one, I just recommend clicking fill out manually. It's going to ask what kind of work you're in. So you can put, if you're in sales and marketing, you can put that. Just bear in mind the fields that are in the highest demand, like digital marketing, website design, those ones, if you select here and you don't put enough information in the next current steps, then there might be a chance they reject your application to make an account on Upwork. And so for the safe side, what I would recommend you guys do is select something very basic like data entry, just for now, just so that you could get in and have your Upwork profile set up, and then you can change it later. But for now, it doesn't really make a huge difference. It's just me being extremely precautionary. I'm just going to go ahead and select sales and marketing, digital marketing, because that's my skill set. But if you're worried about that and you're in a very, very, very high demand space like digital marketing, SEO, Google Ads, etc., then I would consider doing something like data entry here just for the sake of it. Okay, so next, enter your skills: digital marketing strategy, Facebook ads, Instagram ads. This is what I do, right? So I'm just going to fill out this information, lead generation, and then maybe e-commerce. And we're going to go ahead and how's e-commerce not there? Should be, there we go. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and click next. Now add a title, tell the world what you do. Digital market. No, you know what? Let's be more specific. Facebook advertising specialist. There we go. Facebook advertising specialist, e-commerce expert, and then how did I do that? Nope. Yep. 7+ years experience, just like that. And then next, add your experience. Okay, so now it's asking for the relevant work experience that we have in this field. So if you don't have any relevant work experience, what you want to do is you want to think back to all the time you've ever done the skill that you're trying to promote. So let's say it's video editing or voiceovers or whatever it may be. What you want to do is kind of milk this, right? So if you've done voiceovers in the past, then put in some experience where you've done it for some company. Or if you have zero experience and you've never ever done the work for this specific skill to any company in the past, then you're going to have to put at least 1 or 2 relevant work experience that you've made up, right? Some of you may think it's quite unethical, but it's very hard to get any success with Upwork if you have absolutely zero work experience here. So you want to put something in, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put something that's authentic to me, right? I worked for, let's say, which company should I put? I'll put Huzu. So Huzu is a marketing agency I've worked with in the past based in Australia. They basically wanted me to be the media buyer to work for them and to fulfill digital marketing services for their clients, right? They're one of the biggest marketing agencies in Australia. So what I'll put here is Facebook traffic campaign launch. And then their objective was to get, let me just put that line. Yep. Their objective was to get lower cost per click under, let's say, $2, right? Okay, so now for the start date and end date, I'm going to go ahead and try and remember this. It was in 2023. I don't remember what month. Let's say it was around mid. So let's say May to June. And it was actually just a 2-month project, but I'm going to extend this a little bit more and put November 2023, right? And now for the description part, what we're going to do is we're going to use ChatGPT, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do this just to save us some time. Right, so we're in ChatGPT, and I'm going to say, hey, please write me a job description for my time working for Huzu. They are a digital marketing agency, largest in Australia, and I ran a traffic campaign on their behalf and achieved a cost per click of 0.30. Their target was under 2. I also achieved a click-through rate of 4%. Right, so something along these lines. This is actually true. I'm kind of milking it. It wasn't exactly 4%. It was like 3 point something. But just to make it sound nicer, which is what we want to do here, because hirers and people that give you contracts are going to see this job experience. So we want it to sound as nice as possible. So let's see what ChatGPT gives us. Okay. Key responsibilities: campaign strategy and execution, developed, managed, and executed targeted digital marketing campaigns for Huzu with a focus on optimizing paid traffic acquisition. Paid traffic management, led and optimized paid media campaigns across platforms, including social media, display, and search networks to drive high quality traffic. Data-driven optimization, budget management. Great. Okay. Let's take all of this and put it in. Okay. Now let's just make this look a little nicer. Just like this. Okay. And then we'll keep those achievements in for now. We can change all this later, but just for now, this is going to be really good for when we apply our application, make our application for Upwork. We'll actually have to shorten this. Because remember, this is all for Upwork to see that, look, we are who we say we are, we have the skill, this is our work experience, and then they're going to approve our application to become a freelancer. So location, just put London and United Kingdom and save. And here we want to add in a few, just like I did. You can use ChatGPT. We're going to optimize this later, but for now, let's just go next to education. And now at this point, you don't necessarily need education, but anything related to the specialty of what you're offering would be useful. So for example, if you're offering digital marketing and you have a degree in marketing, then that's something to definitely put in here. I do have a degree in marketing and business management, so that might be useful for me to put in here. So I can put University of Manchester, which is where I studied. Go, and then degree, business management with marketing specialism. Field of studies, put marketing here. So I just realized that this should be here and this should be bachelor's. There it is. Okay. And now description, I'm going to go back to ChatGPT and ask it to write me a short summary of what I did. Okay, so I've just written, write me a summary for my time at University of Manchester, where I studied business with a marketing specialism. I learned how marketing psychology works, and this was my first exposure to marketing, which led me to build my e-commerce business. This taught me a significant amount of digital branding and marketing, specifically with Facebook and Instagram ads. That's actually true. So let's see if ChatGPT can put it in a much more nice and concise worded manner. One of the key areas I exposed marketing psychology, inspired what I learned. I applied this to my own e-commerce brand. This is good. Okay. And if we want, we can just say summarize it in bullet points if you prefer. Summarize it in bullets. Let's see. Summarize in bullet points. Okay. Perfect. All right. I think I like the bullet points a lot more, so let's just go with that. There we go. Save. Next, add language. So my English is native. And if you have multiple languages, then you want to put them all here. That's going to be really useful. Next. Okay, now a bio about myself. So I'm going to write this myself just for now. Okay, so I've just written this myself just in 30 seconds, but again, you can use ChatGPT. But you can see I've written, with a background in e-commerce, I learned a huge amount of brand building and digital marketing. I ran my own e-commerce print-on-demand brand for 2.5 years and successfully scaled my business with Facebook and Instagram advertising management. I then took this skill and offered it to other brands to help them achieve similar results. Over the years, I've worked with many well-renowned brands, including Huzu, Flight Centre, Elisera, and Get Refizz. I consider myself a grow your business specialist rather than simply an advertising specialist. I care about the success of my clients and I work alongside them with a collaborative objective of bringing a positive ROI. So I think that's nicely worded. You can obviously use ChatGPT to proofread anything you write. But again, guys, don't worry too much about this because I'm going to show you how to optimize this after Upwork approves our account, which we do need. So now we need to set our rate, and at the starting point, guys, just put $20 an hour or anywhere between 10 to 20. You don't need to start off with 50, 60, 70. You're a brand new account and it's going to be much harder for you to acquire meetings from clients. And now we could just add in our profile photos. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, guys, so what you do want is you want a photo where you're smiling, right? This is the only one I have on my laptop right now. It's not the best photo of me, but you need one of you smiling. You want to be approachable, right? You don't want to have a very serious face. Otherwise, nobody's going to want to click on your profile, right? So just make sure your profile picture makes you look approachable, makes you look friendly, happy, smiley. It does make a difference, trust me. So make sure your face is centered in the middle. Make sure you're facing the photo because Upwork will have an issue if you take a photo of yourself from the side. So have a face on photo and then put in our details. So date of birth. Okay, and then we'll just put in the street address. Okay, so this is basically us reviewing our profile. So you can see we've got all our details here. We're going to change this, guys, so don't worry too much about it. We're going to make this look a lot better. For now, this is just for the sake of Upwork approving it. Once it's approved, we're going to be in our profile afterwards, optimizing all of this, and I'm going to do it alongside of you. But this is basically where we're at. It's a good starting point, and so we're going to go ahead and just submit the profile. All right, guys, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my friend's profile, which is completely new because I can't make another one for under my name because Upwork will just reject connect it because I already have an Upwork account, which I actively use. And so I'm going to be using my friend's account, Adil, but I'm going to be doing it the exact same way. The only difference is the profile picture and the name. And this is a brand new account. So we're going to start optimizing this. You can see what I've put in here already to produce this account, but we're going to start optimizing this. So we're going to go through this step by step and do it all together. So first place we need to start is the title. So I'm going to show you the kind of title that has worked very well for me, and you guys can follow the same structure or feel free to do it slightly differently. There's no one right way to do this. You can make your profile look exactly how you want it to look, you know, make it authentic to you, but this is exactly what's worked for me. So I'm going to do it a very similar way for this and show you how I do it. Right, so this is how I worded mine on my account, but you can slightly make a spin off of this if you want, or you could write it completely differently. You can use ChatGPT, but what I did is 2 to 4x ROAS Facebook advertising specialist for lead gen. I'm going to get rid of the 2 to 4x. I'm going to put Facebook advanced advertising for lead gen 2 times to 4x ROAS, like that, and then put this line again, e-commerce, and then I'm going to go ahead and save that. So just kind of highlight exactly what it is you do, make it sound nice. Don't just put something basic. Like if you're doing voiceovers, don't just write voiceovers. Say something like voiceover expert, 7+ years experience, something like that, you know, something that sounds a lot better. Now, this is a tactic that I'm going to suggest to you guys for the actual profile overview. Okay. For the profile overview, what I like to do is I like to look at other people in my space, right? The other people that have top rated plus or top rated profiles in my space. I like to copy their profile overview, feed it into ChatGPT, and then ask it to write one tailored towards me. So we're going to go ahead and do that together. So let's just go to upwork.com and we're going to search for other people in my space. In this case, it's Facebook advertising, digital marketing. So let's just change this to talent, Facebook advertising, and let's find only the top rated plus accounts. Then we're going to find people that have made more than, let's say, 50 to 100,000. You can see how much some of these guys have made is insane. So we'll take this one as an example. We'll take this one. We'll take this one. Here's good. And just one more maybe. Yeah, we'll take this. Okay. So now what we'll do is we'll copy all of this and we'll paste this into ChatGPT, right? I am going to give you some profile descriptions for people on Upwork in the Facebook ad space. I want you to process it and await further instructions. Boom. Okay. I will share a few. Okay, so that's one. Let's give it some more. This one. I like the structure of this one. It's easier to read than the other one. So we'll give this one. We'll give this one. Okay, so this is what I've written. So I basically fed ChatGPT all the profiles of these other great performing accounts. So these top rated plus accounts, I basically copied and pasted it into ChatGPT. And now I'm saying using similar structures and emojis. I like having emojis in the description. I think it just makes it easier to read. Please write me one. My name is X. Obviously I'm operating under my friend's account. I'm a Facebook ad specialist with 7+ years experience. I've worked with brands like Huzu, Flight Center, Elisera, X and Swim, and Get Refizz. I specialize in e-commerce conversions and lead generation. I have tons of experience and knowledge on Facebook. Sorry about my spelling. My degree was in marketing and I have a background in e-commerce, which gives me the right knowledge to help other e-commerce brands too. So let's see what ChatGPT can give us with this information. So it's going to give us a similar structure. That's a nice title. We can actually even use this title instead of the one that I've put in. I don't like putting in hi, I'm, and then put the name. We don't need to do that on ours. So we'll change that, but it's off to a good start. Okay. So this is an offer. I'll work closely with you to understand your goals to increase. Perfect. That's good. That's a good one. Okay, so we'll take that and we'll change this, paste it in, and optimize this slightly. So top 1% Facebook ad specialist, e-commerce and lead generation expert with 7+ years experience. Hi, yeah, we can keep that from there. Hi, I am name, a Facebook ad specialist with over 7 years experience, hands-on experience. I've worked with these brands. I specialize in e-commerce conversion, lead generation, deep knowledge of Facebook, helps me deliver. Why work with me? Proven results, 7+ years experience, e-commerce focus, services I offer. I'm going to put some bullet points for this, just make it nicer. I was actually nailed this, even putting pixels. ChatGPT is pretty good at this. I'll work closely with you to understand your goals and build customized strategies to increase sales and drive leads. Whether you're looking to grow your e-commerce store or boost lead generation, I'm here to help you achieve your business objectives. Let's go ahead and save that. Okay, so that's our profile done. That looks pretty nice. Okay, so now we need to sort out our portfolio, and every single one of you guys needs a portfolio. You're not going to have any reviews at this point, so you need a portfolio to showcase the work that you've done in the past. So let's go ahead and click on add. I already have a lot of portfolio results to show. I have screenshots of my performance in the ads manager for certain e-commerce brands and local businesses for lead generation. So I could take advantage of that. But if you have none, then you should produce some in Canva. So you can just head over to Canva, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. So head over to Canva, click on create a new design, and then open something like a 1080 by 1080. Let's say you're offering something like, you're offering ad creative production or image ads production or even Facebook ads, right? You want to showcase some of the ads that you've made in the past. So you can just come to design, type in clothing ad, for example, right here, make some adjustments, change this to the company's name, XXX, new launch or something, make this smaller, and basically produce yourself 2 or 3 ads from scratch and pretend it was for a certain brand, right? And then we can just call this brand Cool Clothing Inc. or something. And just edit this up and then download it. And then there you have an image for your portfolio. And then just do this repeatedly, right? Do like 20 different images or something, right? So here's a new one, another one, just open another one, use this one, and just give yourself some actual, create your portfolio imagery that you're going to showcase, right? You need this. So if you don't have any portfolio at this point, you need to use Canva to produce it. Okay, so that's really, really important. And so at this case, we're just going to click on add to our portfolio, and I'm going to show you some results that I've actually brought, and I'm going to input them right here. Okay guys, so I have a nice little folder where I've put in my portfolio of results from the ads manager. This is some clients that I've worked with, some results I've brought. Most of them are just ad manager screenshots and what I basically did for them. So let me use some of these. So I'm going to go ahead and put this account right here. This was Crew Outdoors. In case you're wondering, this is their website. Really good brand, making a killing in the outdoor tenting space. Well, I'm going to go ahead and put the screenshot of the actual ads manager, and I'm going to title this, let's see, 2x ROAS Crew Outdoors e-commerce brand performance, something like that. And then the role, head of Facebook advertising, worked with Crew Outdoors for over 12 months, achieved a 2x ROAS, 5% plus CTR average on my managed campaign, over where's the euro sign, 75,000 euros in ad spend, right? So I'm doing this quick to show you guys, but obviously you want to take some time to finesse this. So let's just put in here digital marketing, Facebook ads, and then we'll put e-commerce as well. It's the e-commerce brand, okay? And then we'll go ahead, and what we'll do is, this is what I like to do. This isn't mandatory, guys, but I'll provide you with this exact template in the description just to help you guys out. This is the front portfolio cover thumbnail that I put. So when they go on the Upwork profile, they'll see this first, and they'll click on it, and then they'll go ahead and see this other image, right? Because this doesn't look very nice as a thumbnail. So we can go ahead and do that. So I'll show you how I produce. So just duplicate this, right? So I'm going to go ahead and just put in an image from Crew Outdoors, put in an ad example. Let's pick one of these. Let's do this one. Or actually, let's do something else. Let's do fit nicely. So we'll just cut that out and put this here, stretch that, and there we go. Right, just like this. You can use this template, so we can put something like 25k in revenue in 1 month, or whatever the results were, 2x 2.01 ROAS achieved, and then we'll download this, page number 6 only. It's done, and download, and then we can come back and let's just save that to downloads, go in, and then we'll add this image in here. Right, so we have that in there, and then we'll click next preview and next thumbnail, and then we'll select our thumbnail. So we'll go ahead and do this. We'll move this up like that, and then click publish. So now we have our first portfolio work published, and you can see how it looks. It looks so much nicer like this, rather than having, you know, the ads manager as part of the thumbnail. So that's really why I use this template inside of Canva, and I'll provide this template for completely free. I'll pull it down below, so when you guys click on the link, you can just click make a copy and you can actually use this. But so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in 5 more things to the portfolio, just so it looks a lot more filled. Okay guys, and here we have it. You can see I've added 4, and every single one is actually authentically part of my portfolio, right? So you can see here I've put some brief details. Obviously guys, spend more time to make this sound nicer, but essentially I've just put the company, what I did, what my role was, and what I achieved for them. The thumbnail kind of highlights that, and then an image of proof actually showcasing exactly what I was able to deliver for this company. And so I've done that for each and every single one. I've put in the name of the company, exactly what I did for them, proof that I did it. And so if you have that, that's really useful to do here. And if you use these thumbnails that I provided, it just makes your profile look more professional. Okay, and so if you don't have any, you're gonna have to produce something here in the portfolio. So have a think for your niche and your space. What kind of things can you actually produce that's gonna make your profile look more professional and make you look like somebody who knows exactly what they're doing in that space? Right, so for skills, let's just update this because we want to put in a few more, right? So in my case, let's put in Facebook ads. You don't want to limit yourself here. Put as much skills as you can. So I'm going to fill this, right? So I'm just going to put in Facebook, see what comes up. Facebook advertising, Facebook pixel setup, Instagram ads, Instagram marketing. Right, so I've put in a few here. You can see I've added in marketing, advertising, strategy, campaign management, lead gen, all these different things. So try and fill this out with as much skills as you can possibly do. Now, testimonials is where you can request from certain people that you've worked with in the past that have a LinkedIn profile. They need a LinkedIn profile to be able to write a review for you, right? So this is really important considering you have no reviews at this point, right? Because you haven't worked with anyone through the Upwork account. Having testimonials is really good. So if you have a friend that has a LinkedIn and runs a company, then this would be good. Just give them a call and say, hey, can I send you a request to write a client testimonial for me? It would really help my profile. And just write in, you know, their name, their business email, put in their LinkedIn profile here so that Upwork can verify it. And just, you know, you'll write a message to the client. You'll write what your job was. So in this case, let's say Facebook ads, e-commerce, and then the client's title. You can put all this in and then request, and then they'll be sent an email where they open it up and basically just write a few words. Make sure they don't use ChatGPT for that because Upwork will identify that's really important. Make sure they write it themselves, or you can write it for them. But you do need some testimonials here. Getting 1 or 2 testimonials will make your profile not look as empty. So it's really, really important. So be sure to take advantage of that. So for certifications, you don't need this at this point if you're new to the platform. But if you have something here that you already have in mind that you've done that might be useful, then definitely put that in. If you've been accredited a certain certificate from a certain well-renowned body, then you could definitely put that in here and it will make your profile look a lot more professional. But if you don't have it, don't worry about that. Now, employment history, most people will say you don't need to fill this out, but I personally took the time to add a lot of things into my employment history, and I highly recommend you do something similar. So you can put something here like a company you work for. So let's say Raptors. I worked for a company called Raptors Tri-City. Basically a company that does vinyl wrapping in Canada, and they have some subsidiaries in Africa and America as well. But I worked with them for a lead generation Facebook ads campaign. And so I'm going to put them in here. So let me just make this very brief and just put in Raptors Tri-City and put the city was Canada. Oh, no, not the city. Sorry. The city was, it was actually Ontario. I believe it was Canada. Put that in and then just put head of digital marketing, and then put from month. You know, you can kind of try and milk this, and you know, maybe don't put that you still work there, maybe just go until January 2024. I think I only worked with them for about 3 months, so this isn't even true, but for the sake of just filling this out, you kind of want to make this as authentic as possible. And if you have no employment history, add something in, right? Like you can just add 1 or 2, maybe not 100% true employment history. It's going to help your profile, so I highly recommend it. And then once you start getting clients, you can start adding in some real things and removing the things that you started off with that were fake. Right, just something like that, and then click save. Now you want to go ahead and add like 5 or 6 or 7 different things in. I have loads that I can add in, but for now I'm just going to zoom through this and put in some things and then show you at the end of it. Okay, so I've gone ahead and added 3 more in, and this only took me 2 minutes, but guys, again, you can use ChatGPT to do this, but make sure that you fill this out so it looks more filled on your profile. Now, in other experiences, I always like to add in maybe 1 or 2 additional things here. For example, I'll put in senior Facebook advertising specialist, and then I'll put worked with a renowned company, Huzu, a large marketing agency in Australia. This experience allowed me to witness firsthand how a reputable marketing agency conducts their client deliverables. Right, something super simple, but we can add in a bit more text here. Again, ChatGPT can be used as our friend in this case. But you can see it just makes our account look more fulfilled, right? So we've got our employment history, we've got our other experiences, we've requested our testimonials from our friends that we need. Certifications don't need to be filled at this point. And now in product catalog, we don't need to worry about this, but basically what product catalog is selling a certain package of a service, which most of you aren't going to need at this point. This is something for when your account starts to get more traction, then people and clients will come to your profile and buy a package directly off your account. At the beginning, you guys don't need to worry about that because you're actually going to be manually bidding, and that's how you're going to get in touch with these clients. They're not going to be looking at your profile in order to pay you directly. They're just going to be seeing your profile because you've applied to their job. So don't worry too much about that. Now, education, if you have some sort of degree, this is really useful. I would definitely put this in here. So in my case, I've got University of Manchester. If it's relevant, then that's great. If it's very irrelevant, don't put it in. It's not worth it. I don't even remember the dates. Let's just put 2015 to 2019 here and put BSc, Bachelor of Science, yep. Business Management Marketing Specialism. And then we don't need to put a description. We'll just save that just like that. And just like that, within a matter of a few minutes, our profile is coming together. We have a nice title, we have a nice description, we've got nice portfolios, we've got some skills that we've added in, we've got our employment history, some other experiences, and we've requested our testimonials from past clients. So when that comes in, that's going to look really, really good. When you make this request and your friend or family or person you've worked with in the past writes it and submits it, Upwork could take up to a week or 2 for them to actually approve it. So don't worry too much about that. But right now we're good to go with this profile. Okay guys, so now we're getting close and we're almost ready to start reaching out to clients and bidding on jobs and landing our first client. There are a few more things that we do need to do. First thing we need to do is write out our cover letter. Our cover letter is what we're going to use to be bidding on jobs, right? So when we reach out to clients, we apply with our cover letter. And so I'm going to show you exactly how I've structured mine. It's a proven cover letter that has worked very well. I'll even put my cover letter down in the description if you guys just want to use it and make some changes to it and use the same format. Obviously don't use it word for word because that would be silly. You want to tailor the structure and style to your specific context, okay? And so let's jump in and let me show you my cover letter. And here it is, guys. This is my cover letter, and you can see it starts off with "please watch this Loom." And so this is probably single-handedly the biggest contributor to my success on Upwork, was using this tactic. I came up with this tactic myself like 16 months ago, and what it basically is I've recorded one very convincing, very compelling Loom video where I basically just introduce myself. I say, hey, I just came across your Upwork job proposal. I believe that my skills are perfectly suited for what you're looking for in your job. Here's a little bit about me. Here's my experience. Here's some results, right? That's basically that's the entire video, right? I just go through my portfolio, I introduce myself, and it's only 3 minutes long, so it's really short. I recorded this once, a very long time ago, and I keep re-uploading it and using it again and again. So what I basically do, if I'm applying to 10 jobs today, I will take this Loom video, I'll upload that Loom video 10 times on Loom, the same video, I'll upload it 10 different times. And every single job I apply for on Upwork, I'll make sure the job title on Upwork matches the Loom title. So what that basically does is people will see this cover letter when I apply for them. They'll click on the link. It'll take them to a certain Loom video, and the title of the Loom video matches the job title that they put on Upwork. And on top of that, they'll see that it was uploaded a day or 5 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago. So it gives the impression that I made this video specifically for them. And this always gets me messages from people saying, hey, thank you so much for uploading that Loom video or recording that Loom video. Are you free for a call? So people think I've recorded it for them, but I haven't, right? So it comes across as personalized when it's not really personalized, right? On top of that, I've got here's more information about me on my website. Be careful with this, because if your website has a calendar or an email, then Upwork technically classifies that as against policy, because they don't want people to contact you outside of the Upwork platform. But this is basically an introduction on me, my experience in Facebook ads, and some details about some clients I've worked with in the past. But I don't include this in my cover letter anymore because there's a calendar in there. So be very careful with doing that. So I'll get rid of that, right? But this single-handedly is the biggest attribution of my success on Upwork. Believe me, this works. The Loom video has to be perfect, right? And if you want to check out the Loom video, you can just type in this URL, or I'll put it down below so you can watch it for yourself. But this Loom video has to be very compelling, very fast-paced, shows your portfolio, shows that you're confident. And the amount of people that have watched the Looms and then messaged me back, the response rate is very high. And I don't think other people really do this, right? I'm reaching out to 20 jobs every single day using 20 different Loom videos, but it's the same video, right? So it's very powerful. And then my cover letter is very, very basic, right? So I think I could be a good match for you. Here's a bit about myself. I started an e-commerce brand, fast forward 2 years. I'm very fluent with Facebook ads. I now offer this service to clients, high ROAS conversion, lead generation. At the moment, I'm managing in excess of X amount in ad spend with some of my more renowned clients, X, Y, and Z. And I talk a little bit about how I care about my clients and how my focus is to grow their company rather than just launch a campaign, because people hire ad specialists because they want more money than they're currently making. And so that's how I kind of word it. And so that's pretty much my cover letter, right? The real moneymaker from this is actually the Loom video. That's the strategy that I have been able to implement that has given me a lot more meetings, right? So this is where I want you guys to do it. This is going to massively increase the success you get on the platform. And so if you guys want, you could just go into ChatGPT, copy this cover letter and say, tell it to reword this for you, right? So I'll paste this in. Please reword this for me. Here is info on me, and then just write a bit about yourself. I'm offering voiceovers, been doing it for X years, something like that, right? And it's just going to reword it for you. You can make some tweaks for what ChatGPT gives you, but this is the fastest way to produce a cover letter. This structure is proven. I know it works because it gets me meetings, right? Really, the biggest value of this, trust me when I say it's going to be the Loom video. Right, so now it's time to actually produce that Loom video. So what you're going to do now is you're simply going to just get a few things from your portfolio up on your laptop or your PC, right? Because all you need to do is introduce yourself, tell them a bit about yourself, and then show them a few things on your portfolio. It only takes 3 minutes. And really, guys, the trick of this video, it's not just what you say, it's not what you show, it's how you say it. If you project an aura of confidence, the person who's watching the video will have more confidence that you're the person to work with. So the key thing to consider in this is have confidence, right? And I'm gonna do it in front of you in one take. And I'm gonna show you exactly how I would do it if I was to do it again. Hey there, I hope you're doing well. I thought I'd record a quick Loom video just introducing myself. I just came across your Upwork job proposal and I think my skills are perfectly suited for exactly what you're looking for. So just a little bit about me. I've been a Facebook ad specialist for just a little over 7 years now. This actually all came about because my background is in e-commerce. So I spent 2 years building my very own e-commerce brand, and that experience self-taught myself how to run ads on Facebook and Instagram. And so I decided to take that skill and offer it as a service to other brands that want to get more e-commerce conversions and want to get more leads through the door. So fast forward a few years, I've worked with so many different well-renowned brands, including companies like Crew Outdoors, which is very well known in the outdoor tenting space. I've worked with companies like the Flight Center, which is very large in Australia. I've worked with Whozu, which is the biggest digital marketing agency in Australia as well. I've worked with Mercury Holidays. I've worked with Gloss Kitchens. I've worked with many different brands over the years to achieve specifically e-commerce conversions and lead generation. So I'll show you some accounts of clients that I'm managing right now. This is Crew Outdoors. You can see since the time of managing their account, I've managed over 90,000 euros in total, and I brought some fantastic performance. For their cold traffic campaign, their retargeting, I'm getting between 4.75 and 5.62% click-through rate, which is really, really good. It's because the creatives I've made are performing very, very well, and we've tested many different conversions and many different creatives. And also we're running a advertising campaign to get more signups for their newsletter. You can see here we're getting a subscriber for every €2, and for this one every €1. And when people sign up to the newsletter, we're then upselling them through emails to then get sales. That's the funnel that I've built with this client. And you can see some of the purchase conversion values of what I've achieved for them. You can see this campaign brought in 14,000 euros. This one brought in 13,000 euros. The ROAS on these are very, very healthy and very comfortable, considering that they're selling a very high ticket item. So you can see on their website that their tents are not cheap. You know, they're selling products for quite high price, £161, £839. So this is very, very profitable for them. I've also worked with Gloss Kitchens, which is basically a kitchen remodeler company based out of London. They sell luxury fitted German kitchens. And they basically approached me back in February 2023 and wanted to get more leads of people who want kitchen installations in London. And in their first month, they only spent £233, and I managed to acquire them 25 qualified leads for only £9 a lead. And every single time a lead would come through, it would be funneled into this Excel sheet. So in February 2023, in that month, you can see 5 different leads came through and met with the team and then proceeded to make an actual purchase of a kitchen. Now, their cheapest kitchen with installation is £9,000. So in total, 5 closes this month meant they made at least a £45,000 return from 233 ad spend. And ever since then, I brought in fantastic performance for them, brought in hundreds of leads for only £15 per lead across the total span of my time working with them. I've also worked with Storyteller Workshop, which is basically a workshop company that offers a full inclusive workshop for photography. So they basically fly you out. It's all inclusive, where they basically set you up with everything you need to learn about photography in another country. It could be France, it could be Germany. They do different workshops in different countries. And during my time working with them, I was able to produce under $1.20 per lead at a value of 2.47 click-through rate, right? Which is very, very healthy. You can see here the average cost per click is 48 cents because this campaign performed really, really well during its duration. And so again, every single time a lead would come through, it would be filtered into an Excel sheet. They would then contact them and they fully booked out their workshop for the period that I was promoting for them. So this is just a few examples of some clients I brought some results with. I have many, many, many more, but I'd love to get on a call and discuss strategy a little bit further and talk about your specific account and your specific job. And hopefully I can hear from you soon, and looking forward to hearing from you. Cheers. And so guys, just like that, you can see that was my first take in recording that. Like, you guys can do it 4, 5, 6, 7 times until you master it and you come across super confident. Now, just make sure, like I said, the key component to consider is that you come across confident. This is gonna be a video that loads of clients see, and so you need to make sure that you're projecting confidence in the video and you're explaining things thoroughly and getting straight to the point. Now, you can see I spoke so fast, I barely took any breaks in between speaking because I wanna make sure that they watch and consume the essential information without clicking off, right? So I'm trying to keep their attention span. And that's pretty much it. So now we have our Loom video, we have our cover letter. What we need to do now is find 10, 15 or 20 jobs and apply to them. And then we're going to repeat that every single day for the next month. And I guarantee if you do that, guys, if you do this consistently every day and you don't quit and you don't slack, then you will get the clients that you want and you will get paid what you want through this system. So let's go ahead and find ourselves 10 jobs in the space of what we want. So we're going to come to the top and click on find work, and then we're going to type in some keywords like Facebook ads and click on enter. And what we really want is things that have been posted very recently. You can see this was posted 16 minutes ago, and we're going to find 10 jobs. We're going to do this 10 times, and every single job we find that we're interested in, we're going to open it in a new tab. So this is interesting. This is interesting. Create a video ad for social media. Not really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for specifically Facebook advertising. Content creation, social media. Nope. Facebook ad campaign setup. Yep, that's the one. Keep going down. down until we get 10. And there we are, guys. I've just found 10 different jobs. And now what we're going to do is for each of them, we're going to click apply now, and we're going to go to the apply page for every single one of them. Okay, so we've opened up 10 different jobs and we've gone to the apply page for every single one. Now, the next step of what we need to do is actually buy connects so we can apply to these jobs. So that's really important. So just go ahead and click on the top right corner with your logo and then your profile picture, and then click on connects, and it's going to bring you to the page where you can buy some connects. So a new member will already be accredited a few connects, but you're going to need more than that. So just click on buy. And then what I like to do is I like to buy 300 at a time, but you guys can buy less if you'd like. This is really important. Think of this as like Facebook ad spend, right? You want to put in $1, but you want to get 10 back. This is the cost of what we need to pay to be able to reach out to people. So it's really, really important, right? This is our advertising cost in a sense. So we're going to pick the 300 connects, and I'm going to go ahead and buy this. Okay, so I've gone ahead and bought an additional 300 connects, so you can see we've got 350 connects. Now, the cost of each job is going to be slightly different. You can see this one right here is approximately 8 connects. This one is 8 connects as well. This one's 8 connects. This one's 14, however. This one's 5. So it ranges from different jobs depending on a few things like the budget, like whether they need a certain level of experience. So it varies from job to job. But now we have the connects, we found the 10 jobs, and we've opened each individual job into a new tab. And now we need to upload that Loom video that we just recorded 10 different times. Okay guys, so here we are on the dashboard of our Loom account. So at this point, you should already have a Loom account because that's what you've used to create your video that we're going to put in our cover letter. And so here, once you're on the home page, I want you guys to add in a profile picture. This is really important because it's going to make you look so much more professional when clients watch your video for your Loom account to have a profile picture. So just click on this icon up here in the top right, click view or edit profile, and add yourself a profile picture. Super, super important. And you can see here I'm operating under my friend's name because if I operate under my name, Upwork would simply ban me because I already have an account and I'm not allowed to have two, right? So for the sake of having a brand new Upwork account, a brand new process, brand new Loom account, I want to show you all of it from scratch. So now that we're in our home Loom page, what we need to do is we need to upgrade our Loom account to the business option, which is only $15 a month, but you get a 14-day free trial, which is great. I've already upgraded this just now, but you can just click on the top right icon here, go to billing, and you'll have the option to upgrade to a business plan, which is only $15 a month. You can see here I've got 13 days left in the trial. This is really important because we need this in order to upload videos to Loom. And using the strategy I'm going to show you, that one video that you've recorded, we're going to re-upload it again and again and again. And I'm going to do that all in front of you momentarily. So we're in the home page. I've just made a quick workspace, but you can do so by just clicking this plus button here, create a space. And I've made a blank workspace right here. So what we want to do is click add video, upload a video, and then we'll simply drag in the video that we made right here. So we'll just upload that. And then I want you guys to duplicate this page. So we're back in the workspace here. Duplicate this 9 more times. So you can see I've got 3 here. That's 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I've duplicated it 9 times. And for each of them, I'm going to go ahead and click add video and upload it. So I'm basically uploading the same video 10 times in total. Okay guys, so you can see now that we've got the exact same video uploaded 10 times and I've got all of the tabs open right here in front of me. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to look at all of the jobs that we opened up in different tabs. You can see we got 10 here. We're going to copy the title of each one, right? So this is the first one, paste that in, and then we're going to put the date here, which is 20th September. Okay, so I'm just going to copy the date, put that in here as well, because we're going to use the same date for each of them. Last one. Okay. So now the first one has the same title of this job. It has the 20th September, which is the date. Now the next one is this. We'll copy this in, paste that in there. Then the third one, copy that, paste that in here. And the fourth one, and we're going to do this for each and every one. So what ends up happening is we have 10 different jobs with 10 different assigned Loom videos, each with matching titles. So that's going to make the hirer think that we made it for them. Okay, so at this point we have 10 jobs open and 10 Loom videos open. All the titles of the Loom videos vary based on the job titles. And now what we need to do is we're going to start applying. So we've got the first one here, Meta Ads Campaign Manager. We're going to copy that URL. I'm going to head back over to our cover letter. I've slightly amended this cover letter because I don't want it to be exactly word for word, the exact same as the one I use on my main account. But you can see here we start off with please watch this Loom, and then we're going to put that Loom video in there. So we'll come back here. And here where it says, how often do you want your rate to increase? Just always put never. That's what I do. Paste in the cover letter. If you have portfolio things to attach, this would really help your case. I normally do that, but it's not essential, right? You can have some things in there that might help your case. I'll put in some now. Just as an example, I have my portfolio section here. So I can just put in these right here, just as an example. So I've just attached a few. This isn't mandatory, but this is something that's going to help you, make your case when applying to the job. So that's pretty much it. We have our cover letter right here. Make sure there's no space at the top. Please watch this Loom. A bit about myself. I've got some attachments here, and then we're just going to go ahead and submit that proposal. And now we're going to do the exact same thing with the other 9 jobs, right? So I'm going to go ahead and work on that right now. Just FYI guys, if you see this option, how do you want to be paid by milestone and project? I always select project and I leave the bid as usual. I don't change the bid whatsoever, and I highly recommend that you don't either, because when you get on the call, then you can negotiate, right? You can tell them, and this is what I normally do. I normally tell them that, look, for me to give you an accurate quote, I need to learn a little bit more about the project's requirements and deliverables. So right now, what I leave in Upwork is a placeholder, right? I apply with their placeholder. So just FYI, that's really, really important. So how long will the project take? I normally put 3 to 6 months on average. That's what I put. It doesn't really make a massive difference. But yeah, just a side note, just make sure that when it comes to the milestone of projects, just select project and leave the bid, whatever is already in there. And again, guys, if some applications ask you for more questions, then you can actually just fill this out yourself, right? Have you worked with dental practices before in the US? Yes, I have. I've worked with several dental practices in the UK and also with personal branded dentists in the US, right? Describe your recent experience with similar projects. What I do with questions like that is I say, please watch this Loom video. I just paste that in like that, and then I submit. So another one right here, describe your experience with email marketing automation. I just put a small sentence. Describe your recent experience with similar projects. I just put, please watch this Loom. And there you have it, guys. Just like that, 10 proposals were sent, all with personalized Loom style outreaches. And if you do that 10 times every single day, I personally do it 20 times a day. If you do it 10 times every single day, I guarantee you in the next 30 days, you'll close clients and you'll make more money than you spent on the connects. But you have to be very, very, very consistent and do it every single day. Now, what I do on my account is I reach out to 20 jobs every single day. And I personally don't do it anymore because it's too time consuming, right? So I've spent so many months on Upwork using this same method, and I used to do it myself month on month consistently, but it was taking 2-3 hours every single day, right? And I highly recommend that you consider doing that at the start yourself. But if you want to outsource it to somebody else, I formulated a very, very well-structured team that does it for me, right? And that's where the birth of Upmatch was created. And I'll put the link down below. I don't want to make this into a sales thing or anything, but Upmatch basically provides this done-for-you solution. So we come into your Upwork account, we optimize the entire thing, we make sure your profile, your testimonials, your description, and your cover letter are up to scratch. We work with you to produce the best Loom video we can possibly get out of you. And then my team of bidders will bid around the clock 24 hours a day, right? So they take shifts. And it's not so much as just doing it the way I showed you. What we do is not only do we use the personalized Loom methods, but we also personalize each individual cover letter. So there's 2 or 3 sentences changed for each application. And the third thing we do is we have access to third-party tools with certain APIs instilled which notify us when a new job comes out in the niche that we're interested in. So if a new job comes out in Facebook advertising space, we're the first ones to know about it, and we're the first ones to apply using this personalized outreach system. So I basically strengthened this methodology that I've shown you over the past couple of months myself for my own Upwork account, and it's worked very, very, very well. And that's where the birth of Upmatch was. I thought that, if this has helped me, then I definitely think it's going to help a lot of other freelancers out there, and that's where the idea came from, right? So I don't want to turn this into a sales thing, but if you think that's something that's useful for you, then click the link down below to find out more, and you can speak with me directly. We can discuss it on a call and see if you're a good fit. But just like that, guys, at this point, you don't need to necessarily outsource this, right? You can spend 2 hours or 3 hours every single day bidding for 10, 15, 20 jobs using this exact method, right? But you have to do it every day. And I promise you, if you do it every day, in the next 30 to 60 days, you're going to be closing clients for a very, very reasonable amount of income. And it's going to be everything that you essentially wanted it to be, right? But you have to be consistent. Okay, guys, so now it's time to talk about how to deal with clients as they message you, which is kind of the fun part, okay? So at this point, people are interested in your service. They've seen your application using this methodology. They have messaged you saying, thank you for applying, or thank you for your Loom video. Are you free to hop on a call? They might say that, or they might ask you more follow-up questions, right? So the first thing you want to do to deal with this, right? If they ask you a follow-up question, you want to respond to that question with your best of your abilities. And then after answering that question, say, I'd love to hop on a call to discuss a strategy for your project a little bit further, right? That's what I always do. So if they say, hey, Ali, have you ever worked with aesthetic clinics in the US? And I'll say, yes, I have. I've worked with aesthetic clinics in London. I have great experience in helping brands just like that to grow and get more leads for a lower cost per lead. I'd love to hop on a call to discuss your project a little bit more in depth to see how I can provide value. That's always something that's worked for me, right? You answer their question and then you follow up with, let's get on a call. Your objective in the messages should be to get them on a call. If you want to start charging clients 600, 700, 800, even 1,500 pounds a month, I promise that you can do it if you get them on a call and you follow my exact methodology for the sales calls, okay? Because if you just leave everything to the chat, it's going to be very hard to close a client for a very, very large sum of money unless you have a fantastic profile, okay? Which at this point you don't. I'm assuming you have a brand new profile, okay? So it's really important to do that, right? Have a dialogue with them through the chat, but your objective is to get them on a call as soon as possible. Now, scheduling in calls, the way I do it is very simple, and I'm sure a lot of other people on Upwork probably do it better than me. But what I really do is just say, hey, I'm free tomorrow at 4 p.m. BST, British summertime. Are you available? They say yes, and then I say, great, I'll put it in my calendar. Could you please do the same? At the time of our call, I'll send you the Zoom link here on Upwork. And Upwork, in the message chat, there's a button to send them a Zoom link. You have to use that. If you send them an external Zoom link, Upwork will not like that, right? They're going to eventually ban your account if you do that. Or if you send Google Meets links or anything outside of the platform, they don't like, right? I know some people that use Calendly, but by doing that, you're technically taking communication off of Upwork if you send a Calendly link, and they are not going to like that, right? So what I do is I just try and book them in verbally. Like, are you free at 4 p.m. tomorrow, British summertime? They'll say yes. I'll say, great. At the time of the call, I'll send you a Zoom link here. Please put it in your calendar. I'll do the same. And then I just put it into my Google Calendar, right? Very, very simple structure. I'm sure there's better ways of doing it out there. Upwork even have their own calendar scheduling service that you can allow them to schedule calls into your calendar for, so you can take advantage of that. I personally have never done it, so it's not essential, right, to be able to make good money through Upwork, but it might help you be more organized. So now it's about what do you do on the sales call. So let's jump into this, right? My advice is open with some rapport building conversation. Start off with saying, hey, how are you? Thank you so much for hopping on the call. Where is it you're calling from? You know, just don't jump straight into business. Where is it you're calling from? Be friendly, have your camera on, smile, have a nice background. These are all very important things. So every time I have a call, and I'll share some examples, right? I have some live sales calls, I record most of them. I always start off with a friendly manner. I'm smiling. Hey, how are you? Thank you so much for hopping on the call. Where are you calling from? They'll say Australia, and I'll say, oh, awesome. Like, what time is it there? And then they'll say the time. I'll say, oh, you know, it's coming to the end of the day here for me. Just anything to build up some nice, casual, ice-breaking conversation, right? You want to loosen them up, okay? And you'll get better at this the more and more and more you do this, right? This is a skill that you'll develop. But to develop the skill, you have to get on many calls, okay? So ask them these questions. Ask them, you know, how your day was, how was the weather. You know, you don't want to make it too long, but just have that icebreaker stage in the beginning. It will last 2 minutes maximum, right? And then always take the lead to start talking about business. Try to your best to be the person that takes the lead, because that's what I do, right? I start off with saying something like, so I came across your Upwork job proposal and I understand you're looking for a Facebook ad specialist for your dental company. I'd love to learn more about it. How long have you been running the company? What exactly are the problems you're facing, right? Just very simple question, and then let them talk. They're going to start spilling their problems, because the whole reason of them trying to speak to you is because they have a problem. So they're going to try and tell you about their problems. You're going to have to try and listen and understand it as best as you can. You need to understand their problem and ask questions about the problem. So if they say, you know, I've been running ads for 2 months now and I've spent this much and it's costing me £50 to acquire a lead, which is very, very high, and I don't know what to do, start suggesting things. Say, well, how many creatives have you launched? Have you only launched one campaign? How much have you spent in total? What is those leads that you have acquired been like? Have they been qualified? You know, these are questions that by asking them, you're letting the client know that you're a competent individual in your space. You're asking the right questions. And my experience with this is honestly that the better the questions you ask, the more likely you'll close them for a higher amount, right? If you can really listen to their problem and ask the right questions about their problem, they will feel more comfortable. They'll be like, this guy really understands me. He understands the problem I'm having. I want to work with him. So by the time you get to the pricing discussion, they're already kind of sold that they really want to work with you, so you can leverage that, okay? Really, really important. So once they've explained their problem, if you've asked the questions and you fully understand and comprehend exactly what problem they're having, what I like to do at that point is say, okay, I completely understand the problem you're having. So let me tell you a little bit about myself and experience, because I haven't properly introduced myself. And then I go off and introduce myself. I talk for about 20, 30 seconds just saying, so I've been a digital marketer now for a little over 7 years. And this all kind of came about because my background is in e-commerce, and I used to run my own e-commerce brand. And that experience taught me how to run ads on Facebook and Instagram. And from that, I decided to offer the service and skill that I developed to other companies. I wanted to help other companies with their Facebook and Instagram ads. And fast forward many years, I've worked with many brands in the lead generation space who need lead generation, and companies that need e-commerce conversions. And so I definitely think I can help you. And then once you finish that, ask another question, right? So you basically slid in your introduction and your skills, and you've kind of presented yourself in a professional manner, and now you're throwing the ball back to them and saying, so I definitely think I can help you, but let me ask you something. I mean, approximately how much is your budget for ads over the next 30 days, right? So just, you're kind of giving the ball back to them, right? You don't want to just introduce yourself, pause and wait. So I know this is very specific and nuanced, and you can apply it to yourself, but I've had pretty much the same structured sales calls for the past 12 months, okay? And it works every time. I can provide some examples, and I'll even share a sales call as part of this. So as part of this video, but I hope that helps, right? There's no exact script you have to follow. You'll eventually find your own way of conducting it where you're comfortable and you're relaxed. The key with these calls is to be relaxed and confident, okay? That's the hard part. So I'm giving you a structure that I'm comfortable with and a structure that works for me. But the reason it works for me is because I'm comfortable doing it, right? So if you're there and you're reading off a script and you're feeling nervous and uncomfortable, then they're going to sense that. They're not going to feel that this person is professional. Most of the clients I've closed is because they think, wow, this person's confident, he's professional, he has the experience, he knows how to speak, and he understands my problem. So it's really important to project that to the client, okay? And again, guys, you only get that skill from doing it. You're not going to start off that way, and your first few calls might suck. That's just the way it is. You might come across uncomfortable. You might come across nervous. That's just the way it's going to be. In order for you to get better, you have to do that, right? And trust me, I was there too. When I first had my first couple of calls, I was nervous before. I remember I'd be stuttering when I'd be reading off a script, right? Now I can jump into a sales call with 60 seconds notice and speak to that person for 30 minutes about their problem, introduce myself, and close the client. You know, having them never met me or spoken to me before. You get better at these things, okay? And it just comes from time. So that's my tips for sales. I don't want to talk about sales for like 2 hours, right? I just want to give you guys a brief outline. And in the description, I'm going to put in a sales call structure that you can follow. But again, do it in a style that you feel comfortable doing it, and you'll find that style as you keep doing it, right? I don't want to keep waffling on about that, but that hopefully will help you conduct your sales calls. All right, so it's been a full 3 days of consistent bidding, and as you can see here, we've got 23 submitted proposals, 6 active proposals, meaning 6 people have responded, 1 offer, but this is a spam offer. So there's a lot of people on Upwork that basically run this scam where they send you an offer off the bat, and it looks something like this. So there's been no prior communication, as you can see, but they've sent me a $50 an hour offer, which doesn't mean they're paying me $50 an hour. What they're going to do if I accept this job is basically send me a Google Drive link, which has some sort of malicious virus, and it's going to infect my computer. So be wary of that. If anybody sends you a link or sends you an offer before having actually communicated with you or gotten on a call with you, be very careful. There's a lot of people that do this on Upwork, and that's what these have been. However, this one individual is looking very promising. This lead came through very recently, so I literally just started recording because of this, and they're willing to hop on a call in an hour, which is in approximately 50 minutes from now. That's midnight my local time, so just to give you an idea, guys, you always got to be ready. When the client wants to get on a call, you need to get on a call. So I've scheduled in a call in 50 minutes. I'm going to record the entire thing so you guys can see, and I'm going to try and close them for around 1,000 a month. That's my aim, 1,000 GBP. So let's see if I can get the job done. But in about 50 minutes, I'll jump in the call and I'll record the entire thing so you guys can see it.
Hello?
Hello. Hey, Rishi, can you hear me?
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, Alec. I'm sorry. Ali?
Yep.
Can you hear me? Now
Yes.
I can hear you. Oh, great. Okay, perfect.
Where are you calling from, Rishi, if you don't mind me asking?
So I'm currently in Mumbai.
Mumbai. Oh, okay. I thought maybe America. You slightly sound American.
No, I am born and raised in America. I actually moved to India about 9 months back for some work.
Gotcha.
But I'm born and raised, did all my education, everything, you name it.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Well, thank you so much for hopping on this call with me. Yeah, I mean, I read your Upwork job proposal. It sounds like, you run an e-commerce clothing brand and you're looking for somebody who specializes in Facebook, Instagram ads. Is that right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, tell me a bit about the project. I mean, how long have you been in business? Have you gotten any sales yet? Have you ran any campaigns?
No. So, so this is going to be a little bit of a spiel. I'm going to be very frank, but it will give you a good understanding of where we're at in the company.
Yep.
We started the agency in November of 2023. The ideal was in the United States and Canada specifically. My co-founder actually moved there for her master's. There is a lack of good quality Indian/South Asian attire, as well as you don't see the prevalence of good Indo-Western attire. And the current marketplaces that exist today, those are Ogon, Pernias, Pop-Up, Kalki. They're all marketplaces.
Yeah.
So you're essentially just browsing through 100,000 different types of products. There isn't any curation. There's no community feel to it.
Yep.
So we started Meherba with the idea to change the way that you buy South Asian inspired clothing across the entire world.
Yeah.
We ship globally, and every shipment is free. There's 2 key business segments within the business. The first is South Asian traditional wear.
Yep.
Now, for festivities, religious ceremonies, weddings, and so on, we have South Asian specific wear, shararas, lehengas, saris, that you won't see many non-Indians, non-Pakistanis, non-Bangladeshis, non-Sri Lankans wear, right? Anyone who's non-South Asian.
Yep.
The other segment is the Indo-Western segment. That is Western silhouettes. Those are pantsuits, blazer sets, skirt sets, and so on, made with South Asian inspired embroidery, detailing, prints, presses, etc. Right?
Gotcha.
But that type of outfit can be sold to anyone, whether you're African, African American, white, Caucasian, European, Middle Eastern, East Asian. It doesn't really matter. right? These are traditional silhouettes made with beautiful embroidery and designs, so you can wear those to different styles of cocktail events, even wedding events,
Yeah,
showcases, galas, performances, and so on.
makes sense.
Our minimum ticket price is $250. So we need to favor women who have the discretionary income, usually in the top 10% of households,
Yep,
that have the ability to spend that type of money.
that
Um,
makes sense. Could I see
when we
the website, if that's okay?
Yes, if I can send it. I'm so sorry. I'm sitting down, but my computer has been having a few issues, which is the reason why I had to take it on my phone. I'm sending you the website over Upwork, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. And then at the bottom, you'll be able to see our Instagram as well.
Very nice website. Very
So
nice website.
this was actually a huge thing for us, and this is actually one of the key reasons why I wanted to speak to you today. When we started off our entire journey, we had a custom built WordPress site. It was very trash. To be very, very frank, it was not well developed. Um, and
And now this
we
is
had a
obviously
lot of issues
Shopify.
with it when it comes to SEO. And then we moved to Shopify just last month.
Good
The
decision.
problem is, yeah, a great decision, even though, it costed us, a little bit of money just to do that migration and everything, but I didn't care. I said, let's do it. This is an investment into the company. The problem is very simple, Ali. We have had a terrible experience with performance marketers.
Okay.
The first agency which we hired got us 0 ROAS.
Well, that's the thing. You worked with an agency.
0.
Look, just to tell you a bit about myself, I've been in this space for 7 years, and I'll tell you a bit about my experience. But one thing that I know is that if you work with an agency, the person you're speaking to isn't the person doing the ads, and they're probably just outsourcing it to Costa Rica, Eastern Europe, Pakistan for substantially cheap cost for $200 because they care about their margin. Whereas I myself have been a freelancer for 7 years. My background's in e-commerce. That's the great thing about this. So I used to run my own e-commerce brand called Creation by Memories. What it basically was selling customized canvas art, specifically to couples.
Okay.
And that experience self-taught me how to run ads on Facebook because I ran ads for my own company, and I got pretty good at it because I ran that company for 2 years. I was getting myself a really good ROAS. You can see even the portfolio of that business in my Upwork account. I was getting a really healthy ROAS for that, and I was generating good profit every month. And then after about 2 years, I decided to offer Facebook ads as a service. So I started working with other e-commerce brands. I've worked with supplement brands like Ella Sarah, Wyatt and Frood. I've worked with Mercury Holidays, which is really big in England. I've worked with Raptors Tri-City, which is based in US and Canada. I've worked with a variety of different companies in different spaces. And clothing, I've worked with a company similar to yours, but they're selling attire, different attire, but they're selling clothing attire specifically for Muslims. They were called Seattle Sayyidas. And we had a really good marketing approach, and it was very profitable for them for 4 to 6 months. But the problem with them was stock availability. They weren't able to always meet demand, and that was like a logistical issue, which I obviously have no control over. But I have experience in working in e-commerce. I have experience in obviously running ads, and I have experience in working with clothing brands. So I feel like I'm a really good fit for this. Looking at your Instagram, you've done really well branding this, in my opinion. Like, you have a presence.
That.
Most companies that come to me, I've obviously worked with established brands, but I've also worked with a lot of startups. And most companies that come to me that are startups, they have no social media presence, no Instagram, no posts. Their website is trash. At least the advantage for you is we have a good website. It looks very functional. It looks very professional. It's not slow in loading speed. You have an Instagram, you have social media presence. We can leverage all these things when we run ads.
I appreciate that.
And so how many agencies have you worked with? You said you had bad experience in the past. Was it only the one?
So we worked with that one. We got 0 ROAS. Then we hired an independent freelancer. Within a week, we first showed him everything. We said, hey, man, this is the situation we're in. We have spent, a shitload of money. We've gotten absolutely 0 ad sales. Here's the price of the item. Here's our target demographics. Here's what we believe. We gave him every detail. He said we can take this project within a week, or within 3 days. He came back to us and he's like, your products are unsellable. They're too expensive. Your only thing is influencer marketing. I can't help you anymore. I quit.
Wow. After 3 days?
For 3 days. And I understand that, we have a specific niche in our product. I'm not denying that. but we do have multiple business segments that cater to a wider range of audiences, and there are high net worth populations and pockets around the world that cater to South Asians. That can be Dubai, or specifically the UAE. Let's call it all the UAE, Hong
Yeah.
Kong, Singapore.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
know that there is a demand there. It's about finding the right person who can help us extract that demand. But the
Of course,
problem is, I'm gonna be very frank with you, Ali,
yeah,
is we've burned a lot of cash.
I got you. I mean,
We
look,
cannot make another mistake.
I'm on the same page as you that there's definitely a demand, right? That's not the question. There's a market for this sort of attire for sure. I have no doubt in that. It's a few things. Number one, obviously your brand identity needs to be strong to be able to sell products that are high ticket, and your products are high ticket, respectfully. I mean, £200 plus.
Yes.
Some of them go up to 360, £631. This one, that's about $800, I think. I mean, they're definitely high ticket.
There's even more expensive. Yeah, there's even more expensive products in our lineup. We all the way up to £2,000.
And just to be frank with you, I mean, I've worked with clients that sell high ticket items. I mean, one of my clients called Crew Outdoors. You can check out their website. They sell tents, but their tents go up to £200-300. So I have experience in work with high ticket items, but the way it works, it's not going to be as simple as selling a $40 product. To sell something high ticket like that, we need a certain structure. It's not just like ad, exposure, purchase. It's ad, exposure, consideration, retargeting, lookalike audiences, purchase. It's a more nuanced process to structure the ads to make that work.
100%.
Because it's expensive, right? And I understand right now you're saying you can't afford to make another mistake and you're limited on cash, but that concerns me because to build a company like this that has high ticket items, there needs to be some patience. It's very hard to immediately launch a campaign and immediately get results.
No, that I agree. See, my problem is with the original agency that we hired, we spent a shitload of money, but the strategy that they put in place did not include retargeting, lookalike audiences, and so on. And we essentially were pushed in the wrong way. Any company, and this is my third company, and I agree. It takes, essentially what I said is when we started our Shopify website, we restarted the company. Going from WordPress to Shopify essentially allowed us to actually have a usable website that will drive traffic that can solidify SEO with proper mechanics and technical mechanics. Right. So I said we restarted the company when we brought Shopify. Yep. I'm not saying that in this month alone I'm expecting 6x ROAS or anything. What I'm saying is I need someone who's willing to sit down, bet on the company, and bring us to 6x ROAS. They're not so.
I'm down for the challenge, man.
You get what I'm saying?
I get exactly what you're saying, and I'm down for the challenge, and only because you already have some content, you have a nice website, you have a good social media presence. What you need is a little kickstart.
We have a shitload of content, man.
Yeah,
we have a shitload of content.
That makes things a lot better, because if you came to me with the exact same products and had zero content, this would be a nightmare. The advantage here is we do have content, you have a social media presence, your website is quick and well structured and looks professional. What we need is the ability to test different audiences, a different variety of your products. I want to work with potentially what you think would be the best sellers. And I want to offer them a good offer. And what I mean by that is, if you can offer some crazy promotional discount for the first 50 purchases, that might get the ball rolling. That might allow our ads to optimize better because Facebook can see, we know who's interested in this. Let's target people similar to have similar characteristics. So I'm down for the challenge. I mean, again, I have calls a lot every day with different companies. I don't always accept projects. This is one where you're at a good position to run ads effectively. But what's your budget for ads? Not for my fee. I'm saying just Facebook ads. How much can you invest in testing for the first couple of months?
For the first couple of months, honestly, maximum 1 to 1.2K
per month or in total?
Per month.
Okay, it's a reasonable budget.
I see, to be very frank, Ali, if you told me I can do this in 600, 800, it'd make me a lot more happy. Because that's kind of the range that I'd like to be in per month. But
why don't we do that?
Look,
obviously, the more budget you have, the better, because the more budget, the faster we can test different things and see what works in a much faster speed. But we can start with a number that you're comfortable with, because I don't want you to put yourself in a position where you overextend and suddenly you're low on cash. The business, for it to operate and for us to test and successfully build it, you need to have cash. So I'd say 750. You could. Are we talking dollars, by the way? You said 1,200. Is that in dollars?
USD.
Okay. All right. 1 second.
Yeah.
£943. Okay. Okay. Let's
Two
say.
less.
Look, I'd say £800. $1,000 a month. I'd say is a
Okay.
good number. I wouldn't go lower than that.
Okay.
But then there's also my fee, and to be quite frank with you, if I'm being upfront, so for all my clients, I
Yeah.
always have the same pricing structure. It's monthly fixed management, no setup costs. I can be lenient because I right now I'm at a point in my career that it's not just about money. I actually want to try my best to deliver results because then I retain you, and you're happy and I'm happy, and then it's a win-win, right? If I'm delivering you
Yeah.
results, you'll likely stay working with me for several months. That's a win for me, and it's a win for you because you're profitable.
Ali, we're trying to bring on someone for 3 years.
Yep.
That's the mentality right now.
All right. Well, then we're definitely on the same page. Let me think about this. I mean, look, if I'm being honest with you, normally for a project like this, I would charge 1,000 a month.
Okay. Well,
That's in pounds. I don't know what that is in dollars. I keep forgetting that different currencies. I mean, what was your
it's
last
a 1 to
agency?
1.2, right?
That's the one. It says
Us.
1.272 according to Google in
Yeah.
dollars. 1,270.
Yeah. So about 1270. So
Okay.
the last person we had we did 900 total, but it was with a fixed fee plus performance bonuses.
Gotcha. Right.
So that's where we are. So Ali, I don't want to put you on the spot as well, and I also like you to meet my co-founder.
Yeah.
If you can just put together just something regarding your first thoughts, let's set up a second meeting with my co-founder. Let's hash this out. I really like the way you speak about our brand. I really like the direction that you have. You speak very clearly and concise. To be very frank with you, one of my biggest problems is, and I know you can call me an elitist, I don't care what you call me, but it is the fact, it is the reality, it is the truth. When you are selling a high ticket luxury item, it tends to be better if the person can speak about such an item in a concise and
Yeah.
manageable way. And the
I
problem
agree.
is when you look at a lot of Indian, Pakistani, Bangladeshi, and I am Indian, I know this market, I live in India. Problem is that they can't connect with the product very well. To be very frank, they're
I
not
gotcha,
around. They're
and
not.
I completely agree, and I think I think your mindset's in the right place when thinking about ads, especially when you're selling a high ticket item. But I mean, look, I'll show you something, right? Because I want to kind of show you that I definitely have experience in working with high ticket items. I mean, here's just one campaign that we just launched. I'm just sharing my screen. Let me know if you can see this. So the client is Crew
No.
Outdoors. They sell luxury tents.
Yeah, I was just looking at their website.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I'm literally on their website as well.
yeah, and they go up to around a similar price range, right? Their tents go up to £1,400, but their most popular ones are
Yeah.
between £200 to £300, right? So if I show you, for example, this this sales campaign right here, right? We've had 4,839 website add to carts. It's cost 13 cents per add to cart, 4% CTR.
Wow.
And it's because of us having tested various different ad copies, various different creatives, and that's how we're able to get this. And they have a brand identity. They're really good at their brand theme, their coloring,
Yeah, this
their images.
is awesome. Like this website is crazy.
And that's what it takes to kind of sell high ticket items. So you're not fully there yet, but you're in a good position to work off what you have because your website is well branded, well structured. You're presenting the products in a professional way. It doesn't look like a drop shipping or a cheap site. Your Instagram is active. There obviously is some more work to do in those areas, but it's a good foundation to start testing different things. So I'm optimistic about your account, but I want to be honest with you, and this is probably something other agencies and other freelancers will tell you. There's no guarantee. I'm gonna try my absolute best, but this is unfortunately the nature of ads and business is that there's a way to make it work. But the question is, can we make it work before we run out of road, which is budget, right? That's the thing that matters. And that's why we have to test various different things very carefully to give us the best odds of finding what works sooner before we run out of money. That's the same with all e-commerce brands and all digital marketing. It's the truth. And most people won't tell you that in the calls because they obviously want to close the client. But that is what it is. Realistic.
Okay.
I hope you understand. I'm not saying that to be pessimistic. I promise.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
So we're doing multiple things, to be frank with you, Ali, because I'm really interested in just working with you. I like, like I said, I like the way you speak. It's a very important thing to me.
Thank you.
One of the one of the things that we're doing to kind of curb this high ticket item issue when it comes to our campaign is that we're releasing a new line of clothing that are just cord sets. They're coordinated sets. I don't know if you know what they are. Um, but the average value of those will be roughly 125 USD
Okay.
versus the 300 that we have now as an entry level item, 100 to 125 USD.
What
The
is that
problem is if
product?
we get into those double cord set is any type of if you look it up, it's COORD. Just look up cord sets, and you'll see a variety of different types. And we're releasing different silhouettes, different brands, but it's a very hot, a very hot, outfit to buy right now. And
Yes.
essentially, it's any pants, skirt, anything that's coordinated with one another in a nice and elegant manner.
Yeah, I mean, Rishi, the only concern with this is this looks like a summer-ish product. Am I right in saying that?
Yes.
And now
So
my only concern is approaching winter. Do you think that would be an
so
issue?
there. So we're releasing what you call a velvet line, and they're pretty large in the Indian community.
Okay.
In that capacity, you'll still see consumption of them. We did a lot of research into doing this and the timing of it, knowing this, specifically entering the fall seasons where we believe there could be significant demand,
Yeah.
based on what we saw last year and the data and what the data has shown. But we are taking the steps to input these 100 to 125, dollar items so that we can create a lower level entry window to our products.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we would want to work with
That's
someone
smart.
like you to figure out, are we on the right direction with that? Are we targeting the right types of products? Where does that data come from?
Well, that's really smart.
So
So you're
that,
basically saying that you're bringing in a product that is more affordable, a low ticket item to bring in some interest and more affordability. Uh,
yes.
I,
And
I heard that
then
correct, yeah. So
once they see the quality, once they see
yeah,
that quality,
yeah,
they'll be more inclined to come back and buy again
upsell
on the higher
exactly.
ticket items when the thing comes.
Completely agree, and I think that's smart. So selling this, which is more affordable for most people, what you can do as well is when those people come to the website and add to cart to proceed to the checkout, you can then upsell them potentially at that point for higher ticket items. That can be just bundling, it can be volume discounts, it can be just upsells, right? So there's that option. And also
Exactly.
after they purchase, we'll have more purchases. We can do more lookalike audiences. We can retarget those people. We can send email marketing campaigns, which isn't my area of expertise, but that's something that I think you could definitely do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's smart. When would that come out?
We're getting the first samples off the line today,
Okay.
in just a couple hours actually.
Right.
And then they'll be fully designed and ready to release next week.
And all these products are obviously yours, right? Like you have your own manufacturer, and this isn't like arbitrage
So
or
it's it's a multi-designer platform. So essentially, here's what happens: we have partner designers that we work with. So let's say one of our designers is Monica Malik. Monica Malik and us, me and my co-founder, we curate an exclusive collection. That collection is a set of outfits that cannot be sold anywhere else or on any other platform, physically or digitally.
Yep.
When we get an order, the order timeline is usually roughly 10 to 14 days from production all the way to shipment, and everything is made to order. You can either do small, medium, large, or you can do custom sizing, which costs more, where we'll take all your measurements up and we'll make sure that it's tailored to your body. So it's not necessarily drop shipping or anything. We have designer partners, but the newest quartz line that we're releasing is our own label.
Gotcha.
This new $100 to $125 is our own label. We're marketing it under the name of my co-founder. It's going to be called Label Prerna Gupta. And it's going to be 100% ours. We're going to do all the manufacturing in-house. We have the capabilities for it, because her family works in menswear. Mm-hmm. So we're essentially just extending her manufacturing platform into women's wear.
I like it. I like the business model. I like where you're at. And clearly you understand the business to a level where you've worked enough on it that it's going to be good kind of talking strategy with you. And I say this because trust me, I get a lot of meetings with people who started a business yesterday and they're like, oh, can you just take care of the marketing? So I like that you're invested in this as well. I'm happy to yeah, go for it.
No, please go on. I was about to say, like, we just spend a lot of time, it's our baby.
No, I can tell you care about it. I can definitely tell that you care about it. And Yeah, if we work together, I'll try my best to make this work, and I think you're in a good position for us to potentially make this
I appreciate that.
work. So I mean,
Like I said, the one thing is I want to come at this with with respect and trust, because
yeah,
like the last person that we hired, and even the person, so to be frank, we were hiring a person before that, and when we were in contract signing, he came out and said, yeah, I can't do this anymore, I don't
that's
have the
insane.
bandwidth.
Yeah, that's
um
crazy.
so we've had a very, very, very bad experience. So when we enter this, Elliot, I need to know, and my co-founder will need to know that you're 100% in, and we'll take
Yeah,
the time, we'll invest the money, but you'll be willing to put in the necessary effort to at least help us in some way as much as we can.
100%.
You'll at
Yeah,
least
yeah,
match the
yeah.
amount of effort that we give to you and the amount of time that we give to you as well.
Yeah, yeah. Look, when it comes to this, it's not necessarily. I've been doing this for 7 years. Every client I take on, I'm trying to deliver the results the best I can. That doesn't mean working 20 hours a day. It doesn't. That's not what it means. It means being very careful about how we strategize things, how we structure the campaigns, and doing the necessary steps to make it as effective as possible. If it's not working, we revisit it, we change it fast, rather than just hope for the best. Right? Like that's the job.
100%.
And I'm happy to take that on with you guys. So yeah, I mean, maybe speak to your co-founder. If he wants to meet with me, I'm happy to do that. We can have a three-way call. We can all discuss it in a little bit more depth. And if you're happy, we can proceed. I can send you the onboarding. And the way the onboarding works is I'll send you two things in an email. The first is access. I need access to the ads manager, of course. So that's the first thing I need from you.
Of course.
The second thing is a short survey. So the survey is going to ask you a few questions, which I need to conduct some research about your industry. I want to look based on your survey and what you answer. I want to look at the competitors in the space. I want to look at what they're doing. I want to understand who you believe your target audience is at this current moment. And it basically asks you a few questions about your business. That allows me to then spend a few days doing competitor analysis, doing research on your industry, and formulating basically a good structure for a campaign. And then that structure and strategy will obviously be shared with you. So we're all on the same page. I will then finalize the ad copy, the creative, the targeting. Again, upon your approval, we go live. And then usually on a bi-weekly basis, I share a breakdown in the form of a Loom video where I go through your account and I tell you what's what the data is telling us, what's going well, what's going not well, and what the action plan is to optimize. So that was a mouthful, but that's basically what what the service is.
Okay.
And I think
Okay. And will you be available? Will you be available like through message, text, if
WhatsApp.
necessary?
Yeah,
WhatsApp.
for every one of my clients, I always give them direct access to my phone, so you can WhatsApp me anytime. We can hop on a Slack group if you prefer, but you'll always have access to me if we're working together. You don't need to wait
Okay.
5 days for a response. I'm not one of those people. So if you message me, I'll respond the moment I see it, unless I'm in a call. So you'll have direct access
Okay.
to me, so there's no worries. We'll basically, what I'm saying is we'll be in communication throughout the whole experience. It's not going to be just silence unless it's
Yeah,
working.
no, because one of our biggest issues, and I'll tell you, is we were talking to a firm yesterday, and they said communication only happens over email, and then we'll only have one actual conversation every other week, right? Even if it's an emergency, you'll deal with it 2 weeks later, and so that's not
That's
really
not
how I
really
want to
professional.
operate.
Yeah, that's not really
I'm
professional
I'm
either.
not. That's not. If something is an emergency, if I tell you, hey, we're releasing or this Instagram video is blowing up, let's try to act upon it. Like I need that. I need someone who's there,
No,
who's going to
of
be
course.
treated
It's
like a partner.
yeah, it's your brand, it's your money. I mean, how stressful? I can't imagine. I would be stressed myself if I was investing this money into a brand and the person who's managing that money is not even responding to me. So don't worry. That's not something that's not how I operate. So
Awesome.
okay, all right. Well, look, have let's exchange WhatsApp numbers now if you're comfortable with that. So at least we're
Yeah,
connected.
that'd be great. You want my US number, or would you rather have my India number?
Whichever you are more active on WhatsApp with, it's up to you.
Let me see. How many things do I have on here? Yeah, I'll give you my US number. I like my US number more.
That's
Hate my India phone.
+1
+1 440
440
591
591
1589.
1589. Got it. And it's Rishi. Cool. I'm just going to shoot you a message now.
Awesome. Yeah. All
I mean, the good thing
Yep,
about
we
me is
just got it.
outside of ads, I have a lot of experience with e-commerce as well. I've launched my own brand, so I guess outside of the realm of ads, I can give you some suggestions and advice. And one of them that seems pretty obvious with me here is setting up email marketing, but that's for later down the line. As we get.
So that's actually an idea that we had. One of our things is, one of the campaigns that we want to run, at the very least, we want to gather as many emails as possible, as much demographic data as we can. And then maybe 2-3 months down the line, we want to start doing some email marketing with a good database. But we first want to at least gather that database over the next 2, 3, 4 months,
100%,
and then we can act upon it effectively.
And I can tell you from my experience, I mean, running my own brand, the best thing you could possibly do is try and connect with your customers one-to-one. So as we get purchases, reaching out to them, emailing them, asking them personally how they found the product. And that allows you to easily get more testimonials, so you can sign up to Trustpilot and start getting funneling some real reviews through there. These things matter. But it's all one step at a time. I don't want to overwhelm you with all these different angles. I mean, I think these things are important to implement over time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my first e-commerce brand. The last startup I made was a investment fund, and the one before that was in machine learning startup. So I'm still learning, this type of operations. So, any advice would be very helpful.
100%. Well, I'm excited to meet your co-founder. Just let him know what you think, and then see what he says, and we can hop on a call if he's happy to do so.
Let's do it. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Ali.
Thank you, Rishi.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye. Bye.
Pleasure to meet you.
Okay guys, so there has been an update. So you watched me on the sales call take his phone number. And so as I usually do, I always send them a WhatsApp message after the call. And so I basically just said, hey, it was great speaking with you. You mentioned introducing me to your business partner. Let me know if you'd like to set that up tomorrow. And his response was, thank you. It was great speaking with me too. He's about to jump on a call with her and we'll find out her next availability. And then 20 minutes later, he basically said, Ali, we'd like to move forward with the first month of your service. I told my partner that I believe you're the perfect fit and we'd love to get this going. What are the next steps? So he clearly spoke to his business partner. He liked how the sales call went enough to just convince her to run with it. And he's ready to move forward. And at this time, I was getting ready to go to sleep because it was so late my local time. But I knew that if I waited until the next day to try and collect payment, then he might have changed his mind. He might no longer be interested. So you have to strike while the iron is hot. So I just said, great news. I'm super optimistic. What's your email? Let me send you the onboarding. The onboarding email basically has a link for him to pay me through Stripe. And it has a link for him to fill out a survey for me, which gives me all the information I need to actually conduct the service for him. And then it gives him instructions on how to give me access to his Facebook assets so I can run ads through them. And he immediately just started working through it after like 10 minutes. He said, I'm working through it now. You should have access to our ads manager. Let me know. I did get access. And then he said he filled out the survey and then he's going to pay and then payment done. And I'll put up here the Stripe payment so you guys know this is legit. But this went so much better than I thought. I didn't think that sales call actually went that well because in retrospect, watching it back today, I felt like I wasn't as smiley and joyful as I usually am on sales calls, which you should be. But that was because I was so exhausted. It was such a long day and it was coming to the end of the day. So the payment came through. This performed so much better than I thought. Even my actual Upwork account that I've been working on for the past 18 months, I didn't have this kind of success when I started. This account did so much better than I thought it would. And I really think it's attributed to two things. The method of bidding, which got me the call, and then the approach to taking the sales call, like how I conduct myself in the sales call. I think I'm a lot more confident at that now than I was back when I first started. So I'm a lot better at being able to communicate the value of what I can do and basically ask the right questions, which I think he was very happy with. And I really think that's what led to the sale. I was asking the right questions and he felt that this person clearly is competent, knows what he's talking about. He seems like the person that would be the right fit for what I'm looking for. All right, so let's break down the actual numbers, right? So the client paid £1,000 on retainer. It's a monthly payment. Hopefully I can retain him for the next couple of months. But that £1,000, because I took him through Stripe, which I don't recommend for you guys when you start, because it's better to do through Upwork, because number one, it follows their policy, and number two, it will help you grow on Upwork, right? So you want some earnings initially through the platform. But in this case, this client was through Stripe. So £32.70 is the Stripe fee. Stripe just take a transaction fee. And the amount of connects I spent to be able to acquire this client was £70.49. This is all in GBP, which means that the profit was £896.81, which converted to US dollars is $1,201.84 US dollars, which is so much better in performance than I anticipated. With under 30 proposals, I thought I'd have to get to like 60, 70, 80, 90 before I close the client. So this performed way better than I anticipated, but this is just proof to you guys that this is doable no matter where you are, no matter where you're located, no matter where you're based. As long as you have access to internet, you can make an Upwork profile, you can optimize your profile, and you can start bidding today using this strategy that I've showed you. I really think that this bidding strategy that I've been using the past 16 months is a big contributor to convincing people to hop on calls. It's really, really important because when people post jobs on Upwork, they see all these different applicants and they briefly glance through the cover letters, right? And if they see there's a Loom link and they click on it and the Loom link appears to have been made for them, then they're going to appreciate that a lot more than other freelancers who just wrote a generic cover letter. So I highly, highly, highly recommend using that bidding strategy. And then when you hop on sales calls, be sure to watch the one that I just did and also listen back to the tips that I gave you on sales calls previously, which basically summed up is just about being joyful, being happy, asking the right questions, and making sure that you talk more about their problems than you talk about yourself, right? So you want the majority of the meeting to talk about their problems on the call, their situation. As you can see on the sales call, the majority of it was us talking about his business, his situation, and me giving certain tips and asking the right questions in response. And that makes the client think that you are the right fit because you're asking the right questions. So bear that in mind. It's super, super important. And if you've applied to 30 jobs and you haven't closed the client yet, like I managed to do, it doesn't mean that you should stop. This should be a constant daily bidding. You should be resilient. It doesn't matter how many proposals you're sent. You should stay committed to 15, 20, 10 contract bids every single day without fail until you close a client. The person who has that mentality is definitely going to make this work rather than the person who's only willing to apply to 40, 50 before giving up. So you have to be consistent, you have to be diligent, and when you sign a client, be sure to still bid on jobs the next day. You shouldn't stop that cycle because that's how it's worked for me. And I'm sure other people have different experiences and different journeys with this, but for me personally, every single day without fail, I would apply to jobs when I started on Upwork. And that's the only way to get the ball rolling. So make sure that you commit to a certain number of jobs every day using this bidding system. All right, guys. So in this video, what I want to do is talk about what do you do after the sales call? What's the first thing that you should do, right? And the first thing that you should do, number one, is you should message them on WhatsApp or Upwork, thanking them for the call. That's the first thing you should do. You should do that after 10, 15 minutes when the call ends. The second thing you should do immediately is put them into an Excel sheet. So I've used this same Excel sheet the whole time that I've been using Upwork. And it's basically an Excel sheet which has the names of the people I've spoken to on a call, the company they're from, the platform that I'm communicating with, and some notes, right? How much did I quote them? What kind of information did I get from them on a call? Just essential things that I need to remember. And what I've done is the white ones are people that I'm not that confident are going to proceed. The orange ones are people that are very, very interested. Blue ones are people that I've closed. So as I go down, you got blue, got orange, someone really interested. Green are people that are kind of interested, but I'm not as confident as the people in orange. And scroll down, we've got the green, people that are kind of interested. Blues are closed. Green, blues. You get the point. But this is basically an Excel sheet to manage all people who you've had sales calls with so that you can follow up with them. And you'd be very surprised if you have 20, 30 sales calls this month. Some of them actually will convert in 1 to 3 months down the line because of that call you had this month. That has happened so much for me. I still get repeat clients and I still get clients who come back to me after 2 months after the sales call and they're like, I'm ready to proceed. So make sure you stay on top of who these people are because in a month, in 2-3 weeks, you'll chase up with them, right? I always chase up with my leads. So I go through the people that are in orange and the people that are in green and I make sure I message them next week and the week after and the week after, just checking in. Say, how's business going? How's things going? Just remind them that I exist. And this has worked very, very well for me. So I highly recommend that as you get into the swing of having sales calls, that you use this method. And as you guys know, I'm sure you know a fair bit about sales, but follow-up is very important, right? Sometimes you'll speak to people on a sales call and they'll seem kind of interested, but then next week you'll message them, you'll have another chat on WhatsApp or on email or on Upwork chat, and then the week after you'll message them again, and then the week after they'll decide to proceed. That happens a lot, but it won't happen if you don't follow up. And the best way to follow up is to stay on top of it through this Excel sheet. And guys, I'm going to put a link down in the description to this leads document. That is a complete template. It's very simple. It's just got 4 sections, but you can basically just work off of that and start putting in names and details for that client by just clicking the link down below, and you can download it for completely free. And so once you've done those 2 things, you've messaged them directly saying thank you for your time of the call, and you've updated this Excel sheet with their details. The third thing that you want to do is send them an onboarding email. Now, this is something that you should discuss on the actual sales call like I do. I always mention at the end of the call that I'm going to send you an onboarding email that has everything you need if you'd like to proceed. And assuming they're happy for me to send it and they provide the email, you should send that. Now, I'm going to put up a quick screenshot of what my onboarding email looks like. It's the same template for every single client. There's 3 things that I need in my niche from the client to be able to proceed. The first is access to their ads manager, their Facebook assets, so I can run ads on Facebook and Instagram for them. The second thing is a short survey, which looks very professional. It just asks certain questions like their name, their email, what they're trying to achieve with the ads, what's their experience been like in the past with Facebook ads, who's their ideal customers, what's their main selling products that they're trying to promote. And that just gives me all the information in one place, and it's very organized. So I'll show you what my survey looks like so you guys can pretty much mimic it with Google surveys. It just takes a few minutes to actually create it. And the third thing that the onboarding email has is payment, right? And I take payment through Stripe majority of the time. Which I don't recommend when you get started. I think you should take most payments through Upwork because that helps boost your account, get you top rated plus, and Upwork would then push you out. But that's what you need in the onboarding email, really. I mean, every niche is different, so you may need different things, but just write it once and then save it as a template. And then every time you need to send the onboarding email, you basically copy and paste the exact same thing and just change, a few details here and there based on that client. Now, in this video, I want to talk about service delivery after you've closed the client and how to actually retain the client with good performance and good results. Now, the first thing that you're probably wondering is, should I outsource this, right? And that may be a viable option for you, but I highly, highly recommend that if you have the time and you have the commitment, that you should deliver the service yourself. The reason I say that is because in order to grow a successful agency in the future, where you have people fulfilling the work on your behalf for your clients, you need to understand the service delivery yourself in and out, like the back of your hand. It's very, very important. I myself have now translated this into an agency with the majority of my clients, not all of them. I still handle a lot of client accounts myself and basically freelance for them. But for certain clients, I'm happy to outsource it to other people, but I'm comfortable in doing that because when I outsource it, I can review the performance myself with ads because I know a lot about ads myself and I'm very experienced in it. So I can manage somebody else doing the work very well because I know what's going on. What you don't want to do is outsource the work when you know very little about that type of work, because then you're not going to be able to assess the performance and communicate things correctly with the client. So what I'd recommend is to start off by delivering the service yourself. Get good at that service. That way you'll get a lot better at speaking to the clients in a technical manner. And then when you start outsourcing it, you could basically have someone else do the work, but you still completely understand what is going on. And when you speak to the clients don't feel like you don't know what you're talking about. If you start off an agency where you outsource the work and you know nothing about that work, it's going to be very hard to retain clients because you're not going to be able to keep them satisfied and keep them happy with the way you're communicating with them. And if you're completely nervous that you're not going to be able to deliver good results to the client with your own service delivery, trust me when I say you will get better. When I started in this space of offering Facebook and Instagram advertising services to other companies, I wasn't as good as I am now. You get better at these things. And that's a skill that you definitely want to develop yourself because it's a high paying skill. And so I know it may feel uncomfortable to do it at first and you may not feel confident that you're going to deliver good results. You will get some clients where you deliver great results and you'll get some clients where you don't do great initially. But just try your absolute best and you will get better over time. It's just one of the obstacles you have to overcome in order to grow a freelance/agency business through Upwork. But let's assume you want to outsource the work. In that case, how do you go about doing that and structuring that correctly? Well, in my case, what I did is I posted a job on Upwork saying I need a Facebook ad specialist. I'm looking for somebody else who can do what I do. And with all the applicants that applied, I spoke to every single one. And I had an Excel sheet with certain questions that I wanted to ask them. and I made sure that all of them answered these questions, and I got the answers from all the VAs, and I made a final decision on who was the best. I considered the pricing, I considered how much experience they have, I considered how well they can communicate and speak, because that's going to be very important. A big part of your job is managing them, and so having a lot of conversations to make sure you know exactly what they're doing for your client's work. So you can simply just get these individuals from Upwork by posting a job and then interviewing a bunch of candidates until you find someone that is a good fit. And don't get me wrong, I went through loads of different VAs before I found one that I've been working with long term. So don't assume that it's always going to be the first person that is like the perfect fit, but you have to start working with someone to really know if they're the right fit. And the best way to do that is have a rigorous application process where you ask all these questions and make sure that you filter out the people that you think aren't a good fit. And then once you picked one, just proceed with them and see how the experience goes. Okay, so I'm going to show you exactly how easy it is to find the right person to bring into your agency who will deliver the service on behalf of your clients. So I'm in the Upwork client account, as you can see here. And at the top, there's the jobs tab. I'm just going to click post a job. And then it's going to ask me, is this a short or long-term project? We want to select long-term. Let's do it without AI. And then it's going to ask for the title of the job post. So looking for a Facebook and Instagram ad specialist to join the team, right? And then we'll go and make sure the job category selected is correct. That's really important. And also it's going to ask us for the skills right here, which we need to make sure we select all relevant skills so that all the relevant freelancers can see this job post. Scope will say more than 6 months. Level of experience, we want experts. And yes, this can become a full-time job. So those are the 3 that you want to select. In terms of location, we'll select worldwide for now because we want all the freelancers we can to apply, and we'll decide which one to proceed with after interviewing who we want to interview. Fixed price, here I like to put 2,000 just to appeal to all types of freelancers, right? On the call, you can negotiate what the budget is going to be per client and see what works. And here I'll just explain, I run an advertising agency called Advina. I am looking for a media buyer / Facebook ad specialist to join the team to support service delivery. Needs great English speaking skills. Needs minimum 2 years experience managing ads with proof, right? And then we're going to go ahead and review. And then just like that, we can go ahead and post. And then within an hour, you'll have so many applicants. But if you just wait 24 hours, you'll have loads. And then you just go through them, filter out the people that don't look like the right fit. And the people that do look like the right fit, just hop on a call with them, ask them for a 10-minute meeting, and just ask a bunch of questions that you want to know about them. And the type of questions that you really want to know is how long have they been doing it? You want to kind of gauge how good their communication is because you're going to be speaking to this person a lot. You obviously want to know where they're located, what's their time zone, is there going to be an issue with the time zone, and you want to agree on a certain price that works, right? And if you can, which I always do, you want to try and pay them at the end of the month, because if your clients are paying you at the start of the month, then it's best to pay your media buyer at the end of the month, so it's easier to manage cash flow for the business. But it's as simple as that. You can then post the job and then wait for applicants to apply. So let's talk about Upmatch.io and exactly what it is. So Upmatch is a completely done for you client acquisition system that leverages Upwork. And so as I've gone through in this entire program, in the past 16 months, I've been successfully getting clients through Upwork profitably using the 3 tactics of personalized looms, personalized cover letters, and using third-party API tools to make sure I'm the first one to bid on new contracts in my niche. And so what Upmatch is me having formulated the perfect team to take care of this for you. So if you join Upmatch, what we basically do is invite you to the group where you'll meet the entire team. We're going to optimize your entire profile, starting with profile description, cover letter, and portfolio. I'm then going to personally work with you directly to make sure we produce the best Loom video possible for you using a proven script. And then from there, we're going to start bidding every single day on contracts to get your ideal clients. And so we're basically taking the burden away from you of having to spend 2-3 hours every single day reaching out to clients, and you can focus your time more so on fulfillment. And on top of that, I'm going to provide complete mentorship support. So as you get on sales calls, I'm going to provide a complete sales support to you, where I'm going to tell you exactly the methodologies that I would incorporate in your niche to land high ticket clients and the way to approach it. And I'm basically going to be there every step on the way. So it's an entire Upwork growth support system where we do the outreach for you and guarantee that we get you clients. So if that's something you're interested in, then click the link down below, head over to the website to find out more. You can book in a call and you can speak with me directly. So I hope you enjoyed this program. I tried to make it as condensed as I possibly could, and I hope it gives you the information you need to land that first 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 pound a month client. Now, if you want to see more of my sales calls or you want to see certain content from myself, comment it down below. I'll be sure to read all the comments, and so I'll produce any type of video that you guys think will provide you value.